Welcome to Ask the Beauty Advisor's Halloween episode, where we plan to scare you pretty with some tricks to treat your skin. It's going to be a bloody good show. Come in, join us.
Today, I have the perfect topic for this Halloween episode. We're going to be talking about those gruesome under-eye dark circles. I'm going to be sharing with you today some ways that you can prevent or treat those scary, dark under-eye circles. Enough with that organ music. Why don't we just go ahead and get this show started?
You've got mail, madame.
All right, thank you. Who are you?
You can call me Igor.
Igor. Right, Igor. Thank you, Igor. Anyway, today's email/story comes from Allie. Now, I say story because this is probably, up to this point, the longest email I've ever received. In fact, this email is more like an article. Anyway, I'm going to read you just part of it because, like I said, it could be a full episode. This could be totally a full episode if I read the whole thing to you. Here's part of what Allie sent me. Dear Miss Beauty Advisor. Miss Beauty Advisor, I love it. I'm not typically self-conscious about my looks, nor do I think I'm a supermodel. In my opinion, on most days, I consider myself cute in a bohemian way. Lipstick and eyeliner are my makeup staples, but as of lately, I'm in a battle with my concealer. It seems I just can't layer enough on to cover what would be my under-eye dark circles. After losing a significant amount of weight, my friends would say, it's really dark underneath your eyes. Had the extra weight plumped the skin underneath my eyes, making me more attractive? Losing weight seemed to cause my skin to thin out and be discolored in a very unattractive hue, such as brown and purplish color. In some lighting, without makeup, I appear ghastly. I've sat in front of the mirror and applied layers of concealer. I've also tried concealers in various colors, trying to find the perfect shade. I haven't been successful. Some days I think I've mastered the art of concealing, but then someone will say, "Why are your eyes so dark underneath?" Or, "Are you tired?" When I hear these things, it's frustrating, and I feel my battle with dark circles has not been won. I'm no quitter, so I refuse to give up on masking these pesky circles. Sure, I can make jokes about myself. I call myself the Lordess of the Rings, similar to the movie Lord of the Rings. It seems on some days I should be wearing a cloaked hood with a medieval dress and walk around with my head down in an attempt to hide my circles. Is there any support groups for women that suffer from this affliction? Surely we could sit around together with cold spoons, cucumbers, and tea bags on our eyes. We could sit and listen to each other and how it feels like to try to get rid of such unsightly discolorations. Allie's email goes on a bit longer, but I'm going to cut it off here because basically Allie told me a story and she's kind of asking for an episode on the subject of dark under-eye circles. If you want to read her full story, you can go to this week's blog post on askthebeautyadvisor.com. Now, Allie's problem is very common among women, especially as we get older. Allie also had a very common problem, which is trying to find the right treatment and the right makeup or concealer for her particular type of under-eye dark circles. And that's what our show is about today. I'm going to share with you the different types of under-eye dark circles and how you can treat them as well as conceal them. Almost everyone at one point in their life will have under-eye dark circles. And for some of us, like me, it starts at an early age because it's hereditary. For others, it takes the aging process to cause the under-eye circles. And that's due primarily to the thinning of that delicate skin tissue underneath the eye, or the changes that occur in the protective fat under the eye sockets, that cushion that protects the precious eyeballs. But I'm happy to say there are really effective ways that you can reduce the appearance of those under-eye dark circles. But first, you have to know why you have them. Like with any other health or beauty issue or concern, you have to know what the root problem is that's causing the condition. Without knowing what the cause is, you really won't know how to treat the condition properly. Dark circles are caused by one or a combination of three issues: shadowing, excess pigment, or weak capillaries that are visible under the eye skin. Some people may be genetically predisposed to have hyperpigmentation under their eyes. Also, the shape of their eye area may result in more shadowing, and their skin may be thinner, or their under-eye capillaries may be more robust than other people's. The bottom line here is that you first need to understand what exactly is causing your dark circles before you can find the proper treatment for them. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. It's important to note that even if you have healthy, beautiful skin, you can still have under-eye problems. Dark circles, bags, and puffiness can be genetic, but they can also happen if you're tired, have been sick, or your body is a little under the weather. But let's first start with the cause being hyperpigmentation. Hyperpigmentation is a darkening of the area around the eyes, the skin around the eyes, and it's usually genetic. Certain nationalities or darker skin is more prone to this condition, but it can happen to someone with a very light complexion also. If you are prone to hyperpigmentation or the skin darkening around the eyes, I would recommend that you use a broad spectrum sunscreen such as any type of mineral zinc oxide facial sunscreen. This will help prevent the pigment production. Now, use the sunscreen every day, even when you're indoors, because the light coming from windows is also capable of darkening the pigment. Your product options for this condition include things like vitamin C, retinols, glycolic acid, hydroquinone, licorice root, any kind of eye cream or treatment that is a lightener will work best for this condition. And we will talk more about hyperpigmentation. I have an episode with an expert on this condition coming up. I have a guest coming, Pamela Springer. You may have heard of her before. We're going to do a whole episode on just hyperpigmentation. So if you do suffer from this condition, you may want to check out that episode. I should have it by the end of the month or early next month. I should have Pamela on. All right, so let's move into... So let's talk about the most common type of under-eye dark circles. And that would be caused by a thinness of skin around the eyes, a weakness and thinness of the capillaries underneath the skin. So what happens here is, because the capillaries are weak and thin, the blood sort of seeps out of the capillaries and collects underneath the eyes. Because the skin is thin, it kind of looks like a bruise. Now, this is the type of under-eye dark circles that I suffer from. It's the most common type. This is exactly the type of under-eye dark circles that Allie is also suffering from. This was a genetic condition for me. But as we age, as you know, the skin becomes thin and so do the capillaries. So this is more likely to happen as you get older or, like I said, it's hereditary. collagen building products will work the best for this type of under-eye dark circles. And now to best treat this condition, you want to look for eye creams or eye gels that contain 2 peptides, a combination of 2 peptides, palmitoyl tetrapeptide and palmitoyl oligopeptide. Those are the 2 peptides you need that will work the best for this condition. Also, the combination of those 2 peptides may go under a patented name called Mictrixyl 3000. Either way, it's the same product. These 2 peptides, palmitoyl tetrapeptide and palmitoyl oligopeptide, they are supposed to work synergistically to mimic the appearance of this broken down collagen, causing your own skin to react by producing more collagen. There is also another ingredient that works quite well for this condition, and that is caffeine. Caffeine, being a stimulant, kind of gets the circulation going around the eyes, which flushes out the toxins that have collected under there. Drinking plenty of water can do the same thing. You'd be surprised if you got your 8 glasses of water a day, how minimal your dark circles would start to look. Now, let's say that your under-eye dark circles are caused by a condition called shadowing. Shadowing happens when the facial surface contours cast a shadow accentuating the under-eye area. Like hyperpigmentation and vascular congestion, this can also be genetic. Some people just have more prominent eye bones, or their eye area is more recessed into the eye socket. We also lose skin substance volume as we age, and this can cause more shadowing. If under-eye shadowing is causing a big part of your under-eye problems, there are cosmetic surgical procedures that can change the contours. Now, one of the easiest ways to resolve this problem is injections of a filler under the skin in the under-eye groove. This will lift the skin and decrease the shadowing. There are also more complex surgical procedures that can be done for this condition. Here are some great procedures that target each of the conditions I mentioned for under-eye circles. Combining the skincare recommendations with procedures will get you even better results than just using skincare or relying on procedures for improvement. Lights and lasers can help target hyperpigmentation problems and vascular problems. Fillers and plastic surgery can be used to change the shadowing contours of the lower lids. And yes, you can prevent the darkening of this area by using a daily sunscreen in combination with any of the pigment lighteners and collagen stimulators that I have mentioned. Now, in Allie's email, the one she wrote me, she expressed the fact that she was having trouble finding the right concealer. If you suffer from dark under-eye circles, you'll probably want to use a concealer. Concealers can be very confusing. So let's briefly go over concealers and how to apply them. While out shopping for concealers, you've probably ran into concealers that are all different colors that couldn't possibly match anybody's natural skin tone, colors like pastel lavender, mint green, or banana yellow. But in fact, these concealers blend into your skin very well. These type of concealers are considered to be neutralizers. They neutralize discolorations to even out your skin tones. With the right color and application technique, you can use color-correcting concealers to disguise pimples, scars, and your under-eye dark circles. But you do need to understand how color corrector concealers work. Color-correcting concealers help to mask skin discolorations by bringing problem areas to a more neutral hue. The basic complementary colors that you'll use for color correcting is red with green, yellow with purple, and blue with orange. You'll use these colors for most types of color correcting. One of the colors will cancel out discolorations of its complement. For example, if your main color problem is lower lid redness, then you would apply a green cover makeup. Green is the opposite of red on the color wheel, so green will neutralize the color red. If your main color problem is purple, let's say purple under-eye dark circles, then apply a yellowish concealer. Again, purple is the opposite on the color wheel to yellow. If your main color problem is hyperpigmentation, then use a concealer that is 1 or 2 shades lighter than your own natural skin color. Once you've figured out what coloring is causing the visible circles under your eyes, you'll be able to find the right technique to camouflage them. There are 2 steps in camouflaging them. The first is to counter the existing color problem, and the second will be to apply makeup to blend the area with your own natural skin tone. Now, I know this might sound a little confusing and overwhelming. If you are having problems finding the right concealer, I would suggest that you book an appointment with a professional makeup artist. They can help you find just the right techniques and right concealer to cover your dark circles. If you'd like to read more about under-eye dark circles and makeup concealing, you can go to this week's blog post, askthebeautyadvisor.com. It'll be under the tab New Episodes. I hope these tips are useful for you. And if you would like to get your own skincare consultation, you can contact me, Deanna, at beautyradionetwork.com. So now I want to wish you all a happy Halloween. Igor, do you have any parting words for our listeners today?
If you've lived through this episode, I'll catch you next time.
Ask the Beauty Advisor is a part of the Beauty Radio Network. If you have a podcast or need help in starting a podcast and would like to be a part of a free, supportive network, then learn more by contacting Deanna at beautyradionetwork.com.